Most of us are taught a specific story about how we build a career. We're told that if we put in the hours, refine our skills, and play fair, the system will reward us. But beneath the surface of performance reviews and team-building exercises, modern organizations operate as ruthless resource battlegrounds. A 2019 dissertation from Walden University highlights a significant driver of organizational failure. The research suggests that counterproductive work behaviors, particularly among those in leadership positions, contribute to a global financial drain measured in the trillions. These losses represent the tangible cost of managers who prioritize personal dominance over the health of the organization. Psychologists categorize these behaviors using a framework known as the Dark Triad. This profile consists of Machiavellianism, characterized by a belief in manipulative techniques to gain power, narcissism, a grandiose sense of entitlement, and psychopathy, marked by high impulsivity and a lack of empathy. When these three traits overlap, they create a perfectly hostile corporate predator. Individuals operating within this dark overlap view traditional rules of engagement as optional. To them, concepts like fairness and loyalty are not virtues to be emulated, but tactical weaknesses to be exploited in others. These modern psychological profiles are executing a strategic playbook written 2,500 years ago, Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Sun Tzu's foundational premise is that all warfare is based on deception. In a modern boardroom, this translates to the masking of true intentions, appearing weak when strong, and using misdirection as a primary tool to control the environment. Warning tone. If you enter a professional environment believing you are there simply to do a job, while the person across the desk sees an active psychological war zone, you have already lost the game to those utilizing this dark framework. The first phase of a corporate takedown is entirely silent. A strategic predator does not start with open aggression. Their initial objective is to remain invisible while gathering maximum intelligence on their targets. Sun Tzu referred to this as the skill of being shapeless in command. By concealing one's true disposition and emotional state, a strategist ensures that rivals cannot anticipate their movements or plot an effective defense. This is applied in the modern office through the use of deliberate uncertainty. By withholding future plans and refusing to offer clear emotional tells, an individual creates a protective layer of controlled ambiguity. Projecting this psychological fog forces colleagues to act blindly. The predator sits back as a neutral observer, meticulously mapping their rivals' weaknesses and stress points, without exposing a single vulnerability of their own. While corporate culture encourages honest communication, a Dark Triad manager views transparency as a resource. Every personal detail or career goal shared by a naive employee is cataloged, waiting to be used as leverage when the timing is right. In the opening moves of corporate warfare, transparency is a strategic vulnerability. Deliberate invisibility provides the ultimate advantage. When the active attack begins, it happens entirely within the rival's mind. A skilled manipulator will often avoid direct confrontation over actual work performance, preferring to undermine the target's internal stability first. They rely on the tactic of invoking the worst out of the enemy. They deploy subtle, highly targeted provocations designed to trigger an emotional, disproportionate reaction from their target in a public setting. From there, the predator uses gaslighting and scapegoating in a sequential rhythm. They systematically shift blame for setbacks onto the target, isolating them from their team and planting seeds of doubt among their peers. This pressure is designed to make the rival appear unstable and irrational in front of executive leadership, while the manipulator remains composed and in control. When the target's reputation is sufficiently destabilized, the interaction shifts. The predator moves to total emotional detachment, focusing strictly on the rational bottom line. This phase requires the removal of human empathy. The rival is no longer seen as a colleague, but as a mechanical obstacle blocking access to resources and power. By observing the target's reactions, the predator knows exactly where the defenses have crumbled. They bypass the rival's professional strengths entirely, striking with sudden force at the newly exposed psychological vulnerabilities. Corporate destruction is rarely a fair fight. It is the systematic, invisible dismantling of a rival's psychological foundation, engineered so precisely that the target eventually collapses under their own weight. The ultimate objective is the total removal of the rival without leaving a clear trail of direct aggression. This fulfills Sun Tzu's supreme lesson. The supreme art of war is to subdue without fighting. A flawless corporate victory doesn't require a dramatic firing. It ends when the environment has been manipulated so severely that the target voluntarily resigns or simply surrenders their ambition. This plot validates the statistical models. It confirms the link between dark personality traits and a manager's fixed mindset is measurable. Research indicates Machiavellianism and psychopathy are functioning components of modern management, where an upward trajectory belongs to those viewing human interactions strictly as leverage. To survive the modern hierarchy, you must see past the promise of fairness. You have to fortify your internal reality, step back from the emotional chaos,